Hey, best little Bronco gang. It is spring break, and I'm in Moab, and I'm sitting here at the Steelbender trailhead, and I've just aired down, and I'm kind of just waiting to see if anybody will come along that maybe I can tag along with. If they don't, I might give it a whirl anyway, just to see. I'm only going to do what's considered the easier route, which is the loop trail. And we'll kind of see what happens. It's rated a 7. I've done 7s before by myself, and I think I'm cautious enough that I won't do anything too stupid without somebody here to support me. So I feel like I can always turn around if I need to. So we'll see how it goes. All right, so here we go. Here's how it starts out, and I guess I'm just doing it by myself. We'll see if that's a dumb idea or not. And again, I can always turn around unless shit's really crazy. And so far, it doesn't give you anything too crazy right away, but we'll soon find out if that's going to be the case throughout or not. It looks like we kind of came up to start off with, and then now it looks like it's going to drop us down. So, I'll pick you back up when shit gets crazy. Stuff gets crazy. Stuff. I don't say bad words. Alright, so right away it just drops you down into this valley, I guess, and it's really pretty. The rock formations are, you know, what you come to expect from Moab, but it's pretty cool. I guess that's why you come here, right? Like, this is a pretty unique area. And somebody's got themselves a little property down here. Yeah, rocks are really cool looking. Looks like it might be just a little on the wet side. Okay, so we're getting down here, and I heard there are water crossings, and that looks like not what we're about to hit here, but it's this kind of unevenness on this kind of narrow part of the trail. Really sandy. Probably nothing to worry about, but I did have just a second ago a drop that was a little more of a drop than I thought, so just be advised. Then you got the creek running beside you here. I think this is called Mill Creek, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm just gonna slowly pick my way through here, even though it's not necessarily bad. I'm getting a little tippy though. So you've got this water pipe running along here, and it has several leaks, so I assume that's the source of the water here. And it looks like it's basically just been patched together. Maybe they ought to just consider replacing the pipe. There was even one of those, like a cartoon leak where it kind of sprung out the top. It looks like we might be coming to a water crossing here. Although, yeah, there's a water crossing, but there's hardly any water in there, so not a problem. Nice and rocky, easy to get across. Somebody also suggested there's a drop-in that's kind of a bit of a gatekeeper kind of obstacle, so we'll see how that goes. It's got to a kind of an uneven rocky spot here, but it doesn't look too bad. We're used to this stuff. This is in Colorado all over the place. Yeah, that wasn't bad at all. Some rocks sticking out of the sand. It won't stop me though. So I'm at this spot that looks like it's what they claimed was a gatekeeper. I think this is the one they were talking about. And you can hear the side-by-sides and see them rolling by me, so I'm just kind of letting them go. And I want to look at it first. Because one of those side-by-sides is struggling a little bit getting down it. So we're going to go look at this obstacle. Alright, so it doesn't seem too bad. Maybe made a mountain out of a molehill here. It is a little off camber, but I think it's wide enough that you should be able to fit right down in here. At least I can. And this is, I think, where it's going to get tricky. People have built it up so they can get up it looks like. Or to make it a little bit easier to get down, I'm not sure. And so you hit basically a bunch of loose rock at the bottom. So I don't think it'll be a problem. But you definitely, it's a little, I mean, it's sketchy, but it's not too bad. So yeah, we should be fine with it. All right, so we're going down this obstacle. The gatekeeper, whatever. Looks like it might give you a little bit of an up before it takes you down though on this passenger side. And you get this little drop here that I think we're about to hit that puts you on some loose rock that again people have done to build it up a little. And look, I'm not afraid to get out mid-obstacle and check it out. Yeah, see, I'm kind of not stuck, but like I'm gonna have to get a bit of juice, some juice. Yeah, so that's exactly what it is on that passenger side. I'm a little hung up because it got taller right there. So I may have to back it up just a little bit. And that's probably what that side-by-side was getting hung up on. And we're just gonna slowly creep down this. And I'm guessing I'm gonna scrape. Come down nice and slow. Looks like we're at the bottom. Rocks giving way. It's probably a good thing those rocks are there, actually. Gonna come down slow so it maybe won't bite our bumper. There we go. Easy peasy, just nice and slow. Small little up obstacle, a little off camber, but that's coming right off that downgrade. And I took the easy way up. There's a real steep uphill. I'm going to show it to you. So this is the track that I went up. And then this is the alternative, and as you can see, it's a lot steeper and rockier. I actually feel like that right there wouldn't be too bad. That seems really unmanageable for me, at least. I think the one guy that I watched went up that way, but he had like 37s and all the big tires and so forth. So yeah, I think I could do that one. Yeah, that one looked a little bit juicy on the driver's side, so I think we're skipping that one. Now this trail does have its own obstacle called the Wall, like Poughkeepsie Gulch, and it is like Poughkeepsie bypassable. We'll go look at it at least, if it's not too much of an issue to get to. But I'm willing to try it. I mean, maybe it's a dry run for the Poughkeepsie Wall. All right, so this is the first like real obstacle, and it looks pretty beefy. So I'm thinking my route is going to be off to the passenger side here, and it looks like I can even come across it that way. I'm going to walk it first, but I definitely can't get up that because I don't know if you can tell, but it drops down in first and then you hit the uphill, and it's super steep. So I'm going to go walk this obstacle. I'm not getting up that side, and I think I can do this, so we'll see. Obviously, if it's too bad, I got to turn around, which is disappointing, but here we go. All right, so this is probably the direction I'm going to go. Actually, that doesn't look that bad. I mean, I still can't do that down there, but it didn't look as bad as I thought because it didn't go down as far as I was thinking. But so you're going to climb up this sucker. And climb up here, I think, and then kind of come across to get up on the slick rock. I think that's your best bet. And that doesn't look that bad. That's pretty manageable. In fact, may not even need a locker. But this bitch would be way too much. Because what you do, I could probably get up on this now that I'm looking at it. But then this next lip right here, that would be the problem. I might be able to get up on the short part there, but this would be the end of me right here. So we're gonna not do that. We're gonna take the quote-unquote easy way up. And I hear a side-by-side's coming, so we'll let them pass us. That wasn't bad at all. And again, we're just getting into these little technical bits that aren't super challenging, but they're gonna keep you on your toes. You can hear me squealing. I'm gonna go rear locker. go off to the driver's side here because that seems a little more manageable. Although I think I could have got up that side. This part's kind of steep, but we're going to be able to pull up it. Walked right up. Or rolled right up. Little depression there I wasn't expecting. A little bit of a drop there, and a little wonky. I've had my rear locker on this whole time. I don't know if it's been necessary or not, but there's looks like an easy part and hard part. We're going to try the hard part. The interesting part is that I'm going to have to come back this way. I don't think there's another way out, apart from doing the full-on steel bender. I don't think I'm ready for that action, because that has apparently some more serious obstacles. I mean, this is a 7 and that one's an 8, so who knows how bad it actually is by comparison. All right, so the uneven rocky section, pretty cool. After that big obstacle. Kind of the same kind of stuff, and you know, challenging for sure, because you got to really watch yourself so you don't bang around. And now we're going to get onto like a real substantial piece of slick rock here, and it looks like it, I don't want to call it a fin. I heard somebody call it a fine the other day. Anyway, I wouldn't call it a fin, but it's I don't know, not surrounded by sand, I guess. But it didn't look too bad. Some uneven bits coming up here, as you can probably see. And I think I want to kind of hang to the driver's side here. Breaking loose here. It looks like people want to ride that other edge, and I don't see why. We're gonna bump up on this rock here. Oh, something slipped. Let's see what happened. I think I slipped off the rock on the passenger side. Okay, so I think I'm filming it from outside so you can kind of see, but that's exactly as I slipped off. And I may have to back out a little bit, because what I want to do is get up on, hopefully you'll be able to see it, on the rock on my passenger side. And I'm not getting up it. because I want to be up on the rock on my driver's side when I get to this little nubbin here. There we go. And that's where we want to be. And you can't really see it probably, but some people really tried to straddle that rock there. I'm not sure why, because they've scraped the shit out of their stuff. So okay, and this one's going to be interesting because I'm going to have to really cut it hard driver to get up the other side. But it's actually relatively smooth and even. And I say relatively. Oh, it wasn't as bad as I thought. That wasn't too bad. That was pretty easy. So I'm at the intersection where you can either go, I guess, north or south. And I wasn't sure which way to go around the loop, but I just saw these side-by-sides go to the left, which would be, I believe, north if my direction sense is good. And so I'm just going to follow them. Okay, now this looks like it might be something. This kind of came over the top, and then now we're coming down again. Oh, this ain't going to be bad. This ain't bad at all. It's a little steep and slightly uneven, but should be able to make it happen. I think we're going to do rear locker. It's pretty uneven. Oh yeah, that was easy. Real easy. Got another one coming up here. Sometimes you just never know. Like, they look like they're going to be nasty and they aren't, and sometimes they don't look too bad and they kind of end up getting you. But moose can do it. This part is more unevenness coming up. So I'm going to turn you off because you don't need to see this shit stuff. Next bit seems somewhat spicy. What do you think is worse, being juicy or being spicy? Because I've used both. The kids say spicy. Oh, this ain't gonna be bad at all. Just a couple of steps that we can walk right up with no problem. They say at least 35-inch tires. That's what I've got. So I was kind of worried, like, if they say at least, I'm like at the bottom of the demand. And this one's pretty neat. Should be able to get up it. It's a pretty straightforward crawl. And you can see the sky. That was over a 30-degree pitch, ladies and gentlemen. Whew! But we did it. We did it. It was short and smooth, but it was very steep. So a couple options on this one. We can go up this steppy part or we can go up the smooth part. I'm thinking probably the smooth part would be my best bet. I don't know if I'm brave enough to do all them goofy steps right now, especially since I'm in a weird spot here. Actually, I think I could make those steps. They don't seem that bad, but we're not gonna. We're gonna go up the smooth part. Can't use up all my bravery in one go, can I? I don't know if you can see that. Off to the right there, to the passenger side, there it is. That's a really steep one. We're not going to go up that. Nope, no sir. This part's going to be tough enough. All right, so this seems like the best option. It's just a little weird on this side, which is why I was slightly worried about it. But it doesn't seem too bad now that I'm walking it. I was worried about coming up this way, but even that doesn't look terrible if I was coming to the more passenger side. But I think we'll be fine one way or the other. Some people go up that way and that doesn't look as hard, but also I'm kind of wondering if that's intended to be the trail or not. So we're gonna go up this way, right in here. That was a long train of side-by-sides, and their tail vehicle is a Jeep. He's struggling a little bit up that, like the side-by-sides were. So I don't know if I will or not. We'll see. And again, you get this weird unevenness right before the obstacle, of course. But I think we should be able to crawl right up this. Like, it shouldn't be that big a deal. I should. I don't know who we is. I'm using the royal we. And if you're a history nerd, you know what that means. Yep, we're gonna struggle. Gonna need that rear locker. Guess I could have two-pedaled it. That might have worked too. But we got up it with the rear locker. Whew. Might have been fun to video that one. Yeah. Got us another obstacle here, and I think I want to try the spicy part. The spicy line. It's going to be a thing. I don't actually think I'm going to be able to make that. Now that I'm coming up to it. Yeah, this is too much. I'm going to get out and look, but I don't think I can do this. Yeah, I think we can do it. I think it's going to be okay. But we're going to put on the rear locker just for fact. Okay, I did back up off it a little bit to get the passenger tire up a little easier. There's also this weird sticky part that I'm trying to get the driver tire on because it kind of stuck out. Actually, it just fucking hit the bumper. I didn't say the bad word. Okay, y'all. This is going to be the spot. We're going to do the front locker. Front locker's on. I don't think we're going to make it. So I think what happened is I got kind of hung up on this little bit that kind of sticks out. And we made it as a bear. All right, so that last obstacle defeated us both, or the rough line on that obstacle defeated us with both lockers on. And so yeah, that was a booger. First time I used the front locker, the brand new front locker, it did not work in that case. I think it was because, I mean, it was a pretty steep angle to begin with, and then I kind of slid off my intended line, and there was a part of that that kind of stuck out, and I think I was hung up on that a little bit. All right, boys and girls, this is the steel bender wall, and it's not super high, like it's not long, but there are a couple different approaches. So there's this one, which I think is clearly the harder one, and the idea is you're gonna have to straddle that crack. And I feel quite sure that even if I was able to get my tire up here, I would probably slide down in. I'm not gonna try this. Seems like some people stay off to this side, and that might be maybe a little more manageable, but getting up that is not gonna happen for me. So if I were to go up this way, I think that's just too narrow for me to stay away from the crack. And I think you're gonna bump into this sucker right here on your passenger side, and I don't think you want to do that. So your best bet seems like the hardest part. So I think we're not going to do that, but there's another one. Now this one is the other approach up over it, and it's easier and it's not as wonky. It does have some weird spots, but I think your best bet is to walk up, or my best bet is to walk up here, hanging more to the passenger side, and you probably want your passenger tire right here, which you probably couldn't see because I was pointing my camera away from where I was pointing. But this right here is, you want your passenger tire to probably be right on that bit right there, and then you can crawl up. So I don't know if I'm going to try this or not. I'm debating. It seems manageable up until you get to here, and this is where it gets extra hard. And this part, I don't even know. I don't think I could do that because it's so much steeper right there. I don't know if I'm brave enough to do this. I might turn around, even on this baby wall part. But you know what? We're going to pull up to it. We're going to just pull up to it, and we're going to see what happens. Yeah, so you see, I mean, it's not that, it doesn't seem that long, like, but look at, there's no way, there's not a chance. Because if I get up to it, I'm still, yeah, this ain't happening. So we're going to look at the other one right up next. All right, so I'm right at it. It feels like I could crawl up this first part. And I actually think you want to come at it more driver to start and then see if you can come back up that way, because that seems like the easier one. But let's just see where this is at. So marked on my leg where the bottom of the bumper is. Barely. I think I could back out of it if I was in trouble. I'm going to try it. All right, we're going to try it. I don't know if I'm stupid or not. I might be stupid. Okay, it was real ugly, but we got up it. So what I didn't realize is part of the reason I was having a struggle is because I watched it on the, you'll see it on the camera. So you'll see it on my action camera that I had set up to watch the obstacle, but there was a point where my tire was spinning. I couldn't, I didn't know why. I was on top of a rock, and that was not helping my traction at all. So if that hadn't been there, it might have been a little bit easier. That was maybe the toughest obstacle I've done. Like it was a bear. And I don't know if that was the easiest route or not. We're going to go over here and look at what looked like almost a bypass, but now that I'm seeing it, I don't think it's a bypass. I think it's just another way to tackle it. I think I took the easiest route. Nope, that's not a bypass. It might, no, there's no way this is easier, because this would eat your undercarriage up, because you can't really get your passenger tire up on that. So that, no, this is not easier. This is not an easier route. I don't know, you'd have to have some pretty good ground clearance, which I don't have. I have okay ground clearance. If you had maybe another couple inches of lift, you could probably do this, but that's not happening. Because I think what you do is you get your driver tire here and your passenger tire over here. It looks like people try to get their passenger tire, but maybe that's the side-by-sides. Yeah, I don't think you want to come up this. I don't think I want to come up this. This is a bitch. The first part's easy. Yep, I'm not doing that one. All right, so we're back on the main trail here. I think the wall was great. It was a little scary. I definitely don't think we'll ever be able to do that, either of the two tougher lines. But there is a way up, you know, for me, so that's cool. I'd like a crack at it again. I think I could probably do a little bit easier with a guide, but since I don't have that, I had to wing it. And we're gonna get up on a fin here in a minute, which was promised. I think it's like the only one. Okay, so I skipped the fin that they talked about in the other videos. Didn't really, I don't know, seem like it added anything to the trail, so I'm skipping it. Plus, you know, I'm getting on some different terrain now finally, where it's not just rock that I have to crawl over. I keep forgetting I've got this rock crawl mode. I don't know if it actually does anything, but maybe I should start thinking about at least maybe using it every now and then when I get into some of those rock crawl situations. I don't know if it actually, I think it kind of changes, adjusts the, I don't know what it does. I don't really know what it does. So maybe I'm not worried about it. So we're gonna, I think this part's gonna be generally easier and flat and sandy. I am still worried about this one obstacle called the fall. I don't know if I have to do that or not, but if it happens, I guess you'll see it. Hopefully me succeeding on the obstacle, not falling to my death. All right, so finally a little bit of a break from all the rock crawling. I haven't given you footage of all that stuff because it's kind of just the same thing. Nothing that's necessarily that different from what you've seen already. There was one obstacle I had to throw on the front locker. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have made it up, but it did make it up, obviously. And now we finally got some sand, something a little smoother to run on. I think that's maybe my, I don't know, critique of this trail is the rock crawling's cool, and there's lots of varied kinds of obstacles to get over that are, you know, rock crawling, but man, it leaves you wanting an opportunity to do something just a little bit different. So finally we're on that right now in the sand, and we're able to speed it up a little bit. I still haven't seen the fall, and hopefully I don't. I really don't want to do that because I don't think there's a bypass for it, and you probably have to, you know, actually do it or turn around. I really don't want to turn around. It was merely a ruse. There's more climbing, which is fine, but I was kind of looking forward to hitting the pedal on the sand, but that's not to be, so more rock climbing. Okay, friends, we appear to have caught a break. I just looked at the map that's posted on the trail here, and it says that the extreme ledge, which I assume is the fall, is on your way to the flat pass, which is the 8 rated trail part of Steelbender, or the I'm going to start over because that sounded dumb. Okay, friends, it appears that we've received a bit of a reprieve, because I came across a trail map that's posted on the trail, and it tells me that an extreme ledge will be at basically on the flat pass route, which is the harder route. It's rated an 8, and it appears that the route I'm planning on taking, which is again the loop, is going to turn right past that, and we're going to skip this. I think we're going to be okay. I think we're all right and won't have to do that. I might go look at it because I'm an idiot, but we'll see. I'm not doing it. Definitely not doing it. Okay, so we don't have to do the big gnarly fall drop, but this doesn't seem cool, because I feel quite assured that I'm going to drag something on this. That rock right there is going to be a pain in the ass. I don't know how to do this. I'm going to have to stack some rocks, because this is a bitch right here. Yeah, I think this doesn't seem too bad, so I guess maybe if I get my driver tire over here, that won't be the worst thing in the world. But either way, you've got a huge drop. So yeah, I'm gonna have to stack some rocks. Okay, this is easily gonna scrape us. So here we go. I don't think there's any way around it. Just gotta take it real friggin' slow. Get out and see if I'm where I want to be. Fucker is gnarly. Okay, we're about to go over at least one of the rocks, and it's sharp. It's a sharp drop. And that wasn't too bad. I mean, we did slide, but gotta think we're gonna nail the rear bumper though. Okay. Whew, we're down. Whoa. I thought we'd scrape for sure. Yikes. Okay, so I'm going along and I look down at my navigation for Onyx and it has me on the flat pass trail, and so I had to turn right back around because I'm not doing that. However, what I will say is there wasn't a clear delineation before. Okay, so I looked down at my navigation and it showed me that I was on the flat pass part of the trail, which is the tougher part. And so I'll just say that the turn isn't super clearly marked. It just looks like kind of a rock field. So just, keep your eye on your navigation if you don't want to go down that way, because I didn't, and I didn't want to end up on something too crazy, like the fall. It's also called, apparently, Tail of the Dragon, and I don't like the sound of that at all. Alright, so we're getting close to being done with this trail, and I just came down that first one really gnarly obstacle that I went up to start with, the first real big one, and boy, it bit me right on the ass, quite literally. Well, the Bronco's ass, not mine. Coming down, I thought I was pretty well done, and then I smacked what I think was the bumper on the rock. But you know what? It's not the end of the world. The only last thing that I'm really maybe a little concerned about is that the drop-in that everybody said was the gatekeeper. We're about at it, and I don't know if that thing's going to be too much or not, but because it wasn't bad going down it really, but maybe going up it'll be more of a problem because it is pretty wily, like a coyote. I did learn that there were basically, like, in my doom scrolling, I learned that, speaking of coyotes, wily coyotes, I learned that they basically operated those cartoons under, I think, 4 rules. And I don't remember them all, but it was kind of interesting. So it seems like it would be restrictive, but it actually created some of the best cartoons ever. Because who doesn't like Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner? Meep meep. Alright, so here's that drop-in, the first decent-sized obstacle that we came across. And my concern is it's got all these rocks piled in front of it, and I just don't know how well that's gonna do us. But we don't have any other choice. It's the only way out. I'm gonna back up and kind of get in at her a little straighter. See how it goes. I'm gonna put the rear locker on because why not? It doesn't seem like there's much to it other than to just kind of hit this thing as center as possible. It's just that the damn rocks are sliding and they're going to be a problem. Probably going to scrape. Yeah, the exact problem that I thought would be a problem was a problem. All those rocks piled in to kind of help people deal with the weird drop-offs, because you know all of that made it a little harder to get up out of there. But it really wasn't a big deal. But it seemed like it could be. So good thing I had the rear locker on, and I used my two pedal driving technique. Alright, so we're basically at the end of this trail. I'm kind of pulling up the last little bit here, and then I'm going to air back up. This kind of basically told me my limits. I think that this is probably the toughest trail I maybe am willing to do, unless I get, you know, some kind of major upgrades. And it was fun. It had a lot of real unique obstacles, and but it was kind of like the same. It's kind of repetitive, right? Like that you had all of this rock to crawl over, which was great. Then after a while, it's like, okay, can we do something else? So I do like this trail. I don't know that it's among my favorite, but it's pretty cool, and it definitely challenged the hell out of me. I did, like I said, had to use my lockers, front and rear, so I was glad I had the front locker now. But yeah, I don't know that I really need to do this one again. It's not not necessarily my favorite, but definitely cool. Allie would have hated this trail. So I'm glad that she is not here to deal with it, because she wouldn't have liked it. And for the reasons that I said, like, you know, it's just kind of that rockiness all over again. And when she has to deal with that, she gets over it pretty quick. Hell's Revenge, she was over it like halfway through. I think she enjoyed the first half, and then after a while I was like, okay, this is enough. And so I think she would hate this trail. But we did it. It's another badge of honor trail to stick on to our stickers. And so with that, I guess this best slope Bronco slide. With that, so I guess we have an opportunity to. So it was a cool trail again. To wrap up, cool trail, definitely challenging. Probably won't do it again, but it's another sticker to put on the side of the Bronco here. With that, Best Slope Bronco signing off. We'll see you on the next one.